All right, Play With Matches. We're back.
We're back.
We have a special episode for you guys. Straight up current events. The most current events we've ever covered. Stormy Daniels' testimony. It is the story of the century.
The century.
Not really. But
it is pretty crazy, though.
We have her caught red-handed. Lying on the stand. And in one of the funniest ways of
perjury?
All time. Straight up, I think that it's fair to call it perjury. Yes, I do. And
that's bad.
Yeah, generally speaking, when you're talking about a encounter between
with a president,
well, just in general, it's like if someone says this is what happened, and you're like, that's perjury. They're all, how do you know? You know what I mean? Like
because
usually,
there may or may not be video evidence of you perjuring yourself.
Correct. The only way you're ever going to prove that someone's lying, right? Oh, by the way, if you guys are unclear on who Stormy Daniels is.
It's the lady.
Actually, you know what? If you don't know who Stormy Daniels is,
Google search it first.
No. Good for you. Seriously. Anyone who doesn't know who Stormy Daniels is so unplugged that, like, that's the kind of person that'll find themselves at a dinner party and they'll share an opinion and someone will be like, are you serious? And they don't realize it's like, this person's not playing. Hey, I have an idea. Why don't you subscribe to our channel?
Yeah.
Like, this person's so not playing, you should just be like, damn, that's gangster. That's true. Gangster. So anyway, Stormy Daniels is a star of the type of films where people see how much of other people's genitalia they can fit into their mouth and down their throat.
An adult film star.
And she may or may not have had a tryst with our former president. Yeah, a tryst.
I like that word.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
It makes it sound
me of the
fun.
Girl from what's that movie that we liked or that you didn't like? Anyways, Triss.
Triss?
Yeah.
Oh my God, the least athletic human ever.
The least athletic action hero
of all time. Of all time. And
Divergent.
The Divergent series. We're gonna get Divergent.
We'll get
we're gonna get Divergent real quick so that I can tell you.
Back.
Just because this is hilarious and you guys should actually look this up. So the Divergent series, which is the knockoff Hunger Games, right? And they're like, okay, so it's going to be just like Hunger Games, except it's going to be a different actress and everything else will basically be the same.
I do love 4, though.
It is good.
Yeah.
It's good. But Triss, the main character, is played by a person whose face you would know. She played the girl on Big Little Lies.
Oh, right.
Who was assaulted by Nicole Kidman's husband.
Yes.
Who was the father of her child.
She's actually a great actress.
She's very good. But she plays an action hero. Yeah. And there's only so much movie magic that you can apply to movies. She's the worst athlete in history. Like, there has never been a worse female. If you want to prove why transgender females should not play in women's sports, all you have to do is watch Divergent and go, look, this is what the pinnacle of female athletes are. I mean, it's obviously not. She's a horrendous athlete. She runs like a girl that you were like, hey.
She runs like a girl.
She runs like a girl. And they're like, throw the grenade. She's all like, and when you do it in slow motion, if you're actually an athlete, you know, when you do that shit in slow motion, you think you're tricking people. It actually makes it more evident.
You're highlighting all the things that are wrong.
She's horrendous as an athlete.
But she's a great actress and it's a good film.
Yep.
So
that's Triss.
And then Stormy Daniels had a tryst with Trump.
Donald Trump. Now, if you're going to use...
A tryst with Trump.
That'd be a good book. Say his name. Don't say his name too much. Okay. They don't like it.
Okay.
That big, tall 45th president that, what's his name? Jussie Smollett thinks is bad. Whatever.
Okay.
Anywho, so she had a tryst with him, and his team paid her $130,000 to shut the fuck up and not tell anyone. Mm-hmm. A pretty straightforward,
pretty standard in campaign
encounter. Mm-hmm. They are criminally prosecuting him because they say that he fraudulently classified that transaction in the tax bracket or whatever.
They were saying that he used campaign funds to do it, and that wasn't a legit campaign expense, which I think is ridiculous.
It is
how
ridiculous.
would that not be a campaign
expense? It's 100% ridiculous. And anyway, so whatever. The actual crime that they are prosecuting him for is they're saying that he wrongly classified this for tax purposes.
Some sort of tax evasion thing.
But when they put her on the stand, what they had her testify about is the actual encounter itself, right? because we definitely have a super legit judge. Because any real judge would be like, I mean, obviously, this is one of those things. Harvey Weinstein just got a new trial because the Supreme Court deemed it not okay that they allowed people to talk about accusations from other women, right? They're
Which is
no,
so crazy.
You're supposed to keep it refined to the crime at hand. But somehow in this particular trial, they were allowed to talk about the Access Hollywood tape. They had her speak specifically about the encounter at which point
and they're both in New York?
Of course.
Interesting.
Yeah, same state. New trial for Harvey Weinstein, but in this one, they're all. So tell us all of the crazy things that happened behind closed doors with Donald Trump. The defense is like, how is this relevant to how he classified it on his taxes? And they're like, no, it's very relevant. And she's like, well, I was so scared. He's so big and he blocked the door and I couldn't escape. And then I blacked out because I just didn't want to do it. Shut up, Stormy Daniels. You're a porn star. What? Corn star.
Lie detector determined that was a lie.
That was a lie. And anyway, so that's the angle that they went. And it turns out that she has an interview, a previous interview where she said the exact opposite on national television from 2018. So
I wonder which one's true.
Yeah, I wonder which one's true. Exactly, dude. Exactly. And you know what I respect most in people?
Oh, what?
Is when they take money and they make an agreement and then they just violate it on a national scale. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
People of their word.
Just it's not even yes, I give you my word so much that I will accept your payment. But, if I get a better deal afterwards.
But if someone else wants to pay me more, then.
Yeah. I mean,
it is what it is.
It just is what it is. My word means nothing. If I sign an agreement, but someone tells me the agreement doesn't hold up, I'll just violate it. I have no standards.
I mean, this is a woman that basically sells her body. Maybe not physically sells her body, but on camera sells her body. Are we shocked?
She's a dirty girl too. There are
the classy adult film stars.
There are classier adult film. There are. So classy. No. There are though. Yes. There are some that don't
really
do
tasteful.
Really dirty stuff, there are some that you will not find having 8 guys run a train.
There are some that are less bad than others. How about we can say it like that?
That's fair.
Yes.
But in the category of that industry, there's less of them lately though.
Less of the good ones?
Yeah. It seems like it's almost like a prerequisite that you have to just be down for whatever now. Anyway, whatever. But back when Jenna Jameson was the biggest corn star in the world, she actually was seen as classy, and she the reason she was so popular is because she really convinced you. I always saw her
as classy.
You did?
So.
You always saw her as classy? Well, the men who actually watched her stuff did, because the reason she was so popular is because she just was so convincing that she really was super into what she was doing and into the dude that she was doing it with. But you never had any scenes of her. First of all, she didn't take it in the top shelf ever.
Okay.
She also
classy.
That is classy as far as corn goes. She also would never I'm not sure. She might have done a scene with 2 dudes and her, but it was she was kind of in control. She was never getting defiled ever. She was always she was the definition of a classy corn star.
Okay.
And now she has had some tough times.
She needed to make some more money.
Damaged goods. No. I don't think that she ever did any of that stuff. But my point is, Stormy Daniels is definitely not one of those.
Okay.
As
she's one of the more trashy corn stars.
She has done some trashy things, yes. So let's. Oh, by the way, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and all that. For God's sake, where are you going to get this kind of commentary on quality versus trash?
We
corn
really talk
stars.
Things out to the fullest.
So corn equals and grape equals
take away the G.
Yeah. Okay, so this Liberal Hive Mind is a show that is it's one of those kind of very left wingers or blah blah blah.
Yes.
Right? That I don't generally like. However, he is a magnet for finding things like this.
He's a good sleuth.
That's why I'm going to go ahead and leave his face on there and give him the credit that he deserves because I'm the one that found it. He has 1.4 million subs.
So he's good at what he does.
Very impressive. I think he had like 250 when I found him a couple years ago.
Aren't you ahead of the times?
No, I'm just saying like there must be some kind of like where like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, let's watch this and then let's comment, because Bill Maher, if you guys also don't watch a lot of Bill Maher is wildly anti-woke. He despises woke people. He is like, he is so weird for me to watch, because I think people who have TDS, which is Trump derangement syndrome.
Okay.
You know,
I got there.
You've never heard TDS?
No.
Trump derangement syndrome? You've never heard that?
I know what it is after I figured it out.
But you've never heard that term before?
No.
Wow, you didn't know what a nothing burger is, and you also didn't know TDS. See,
I just make up my own opinions about things.
It's cute. She's on the outside of actual, conservative culture. Because the nothing burger thing, where that came from, is when the Russiagate thing was first going on, and they were like, "Oh my God, Trump is in bed with Russia." Like early on,
supposed to say his name so many times.
Well,
Get it together.
You can't like never say it, you know. I mean, like YouTube knows. They're not gonna like.
Okay, just
so CNN was the main driver of that, and one of the undercover video people, I think it was Project Veritas, had a guy undercover at CNN, and they talked to one of the main anchors, and they were in the elevator, and he's like, "So what do you think about this Russia thing?" And the guy who was on camera every night, like, he's in bed with whatever, he's all, I mean, obviously the story is a complete nothing burger, and so he got caught on camera just completely.
I mean, that's the news broadcaster's job, is to hype everything.
Exactly.
I used to want to do that. Do you know that in high school? I wanted to be an anchor woman.
That's basically what I majored in.
Yeah.
Not basically, I did major in that. Or I'm sorry, minored in that.
I really, really wanted to do that. One of my friends from high school ended up doing it.
A girl that I had sex with in college is one of the main girls.
My friend left, I forget what LA news station she was with, but she left when things got like super woke. And she she was like, I cannot be part of this anymore. And then she just got interviewed on Fox News, which is pretty exciting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the girl I'm talking about, who is one of Lexi's really good friends in college, and she was in love with LaPetrie. Who's
not in love with LaPetrie?
She especially. But she, I think, anchors in Florida. So.
Oh, that's where Brittany is.
You got to figure woke, not so much.
Yeah.
She strikes me as a very like not woker.
I mean, I feel like Chico, it feels like it would have been more conservative overall versus Santa Barbara, which, good Lord, y'all.
Yeah, Chico is where people go who are like socially like, you know, like you're like a social person. So, and people who have even moderate emotional intelligence.
But it's also like backwood California.
Oh, people who are from
like
there?
Like actual Chico. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's like super conservative.
Yeah.
It's farmland.
Yeah.
Anyway,
backwood.
so
probably not the right term for that. Farmland. There we go. It's a nicer way to say it.
Did you say backward or did I say backward?
I did.
No, backwood's fair.
Okay.
Like our friend JF and LF up there, like Leslie, not so much born there. Complete backwoods.
Such
total backwoods.
Such.
You hear that, guy? You hear that? Backwoods.
I miss them.
I love. I was just with him in Scottsdale. Dude.
I know. I was.
I fucking love that guy, dude.
I know. He's the best.
They're having
I love your friends.
They're having a like a party with like, remember when we all went up there that one time?
Yeah.
Like they're doing that again, but I think we're either in Porto or Cabo. I can't remember, but I couldn't go.
And
everyone else.
Sorry, friends. We'll be in Mexico.
What? I'm all either Porto or Cabo.
Either our trip to Puerto or our trip to Cabo.
We're doing both within like 3 weeks of each other. That's actually true, but it was just the way it worked out. We have a family reunion in Puerto Vallarta in June. We get back 7 days all inclusive. We get back on the 20th.
Let's not. We get back and then
3 weeks later, we're off to Cabo. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Anyway, all right, so let's watch this thing and then we'll discuss.
To put Trump on trial, and it is all just going away. They blew it at every turn. Here's what's happened this week. Georgia, that one, okay. They're going to take up Trump's argument about Fani Willis. Now, she's the prosecutor. She's having an affair with the guy she hired. I mean, it's...
Oh, you mean the completely stone, corrupt prosecution, and the prosecutor who was bringing the prosecution, got caught having embezzled $450,000 by hiring her side piece to do all of the work, and she's stone caught. Like,
wait, the prosecutor did what?
Okay. The prosecutor's name is Fannie Willis. She's a black chick from Georgia.
I do like the name Fannie. Sorry, go ahead.
You got to have some balls to name a kid Fannie.
Yeah. Well, it's like, yeah.
That's weird.
I love it.
Let's name her Fannie.
No, it's short for something. But like to be an adult and be like, I'm going to keep Fannie as my like for real name. That, yeah.
So she was bringing the case against Trump, the RICO case, like racketeer, influence, corrupt organizations.
Yeah.
And
I do know
it was
what
about,
RICO means.
Yeah, it was about the like, you know, it was a complete bullshit case. But when they looked into Fannie Willis, they were like, all right, so she's allocated these, you know, the DA has a lot of funds they can allocate. And she had hired this dude who she had been banging for years.
Okay.
And who also worked there to do all this, or no, I'm sorry, he's an independent contractor that they hired. He like nearly half.
No bias there.
Nearly $500,000 that she had hired him to do. And then they were going on these crazy vacations together. It was just like black and white, bottom line, total corruption.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So the case had no legs anyway, and then she got caught being corrupt, and then she goes to one of these black church, you know, like they always do that if they're like a black candidate or black politician, they always go to the black church, and then they do this routine. She's all, but God knows that the man is trying to come down on a strong African-American woman. You're like, get the fuck out of here. You're caught, dude. Anyway, so that's that one.
Not really relevant to the case, but they left an opening. And now that one's going to be delayed. The stolen documents one, that's never going to happen because that's a Trumpy judge down there. So,
not a Trumpy judge. They got caught having misconstrued a bunch of evidence. They got caught. Malfeasance, bottom line. And then that's why they're all, okay, we're going to delay this case for a while.
It's Stormy or bust.
I saw what you did there.
You can like Bill Maher.
I love him.
He hates Trump so much, and it's so annoying.
That's okay. I don't have to agree with every single thing that people I like think. Like I have lots of people that I really admire and like that think completely opposed to me. I just really like him.
Have you seen Religulous?
Yeah.
And you like him?
I do, actually. I don't
like hate him.
No, I like him. I understand that it was very, very, very insulting to people who have a very strong tie to religion. I get that. But at the same time, I can respect, and I don't like that. He was very condescending, but he's also making a film that people are going to talk about. You know, you have to be controversial in order to actually make something of it.
Into
I know.
people's communities that are like stone religious and shit on them. And then at the Oscars, when he was giving away, doing one of the awards, he was like, for the documentary, which I was not a candidate for. I'm like,
he's a professional, man. Like he knows what he's doing. You have to bait people. If you're not pissing off someone, you're not doing your job right. If this is your job, like that is part of the gig. And while I don't agree with everything he does, I'm right. You know I'm right. I respect the heck out of him. And I do think he's very funny.
Fair enough. But he is an asshole when it comes to Trump.
It just comes out. I'm not trying. But
I respect him too, because even though he hates Trump, he came out and was like, and just exposed Stormy Daniels for this. You're right. Actually, I do respect him.
Doesn't work. And she's a bad witness because let me show you a little video. This is when I had Stormy on in 2018, and first I asked her why she had sex with Trump. Listen to that, and then listen to what she says after that, and then we're going to talk about the trial, because it's quite a variance of what she said to me in 2018.
Variance.
Why did Donald Trump?
I have no idea.
Okay, but you say it's not a Me Too case.
It is not a Me Too case. I mean, I wasn't assaulted. I wasn't attacked or coerced or blackmailed. They tried to shove me in the Me Too box to further their own agenda. And first of all, I didn't want any part of that because it's not the truth, and I'm not a victim in that regard.
That's not what she's saying now. She's talking about he was bigger and blocking the way. It's all the Me Too buzzwords. She said there was a power imbalance of power, for sure. My hands were shaking so hard. She said she blacked out. Blacked out? She's a porn star. I don't think sex...
That doesn't mean she's been subjected to the likes of Donald Trump. I might black out too.
You laughed at that joke?
It's funny.
The guy says that doesn't mean that she's subjected to the likes of...
I understand that. It's still objectively funny. People can't take jokes anymore. Jesus Christ. Go ahead.
It's just because they constantly lie about this guy to where now anybody who does this, I'm just like, fuck you.
Right. But that's part of it.
Do you really think she blacked out? I mean, a porn star is used to having sex with people she does not know. That's the job. It's kind of like Stormy Bob Stormy. Action, and let's go, and we're losing the light. So I just think she's not a good witness, and this is...
In a way, he kind of sounds like me.
Yep. So that's it, right? Like, so they got her up there. Yeah. And, you know, at the beginning, she's carrying it impressive. She's like, listen, you know, I don't want to get put in a Me Too bucket because it's not the truth. And you're all cool. And then so like, what's happened now? Why? Like, she wrote a book about it. It's like, dude, you wrote a book. This is in black and white. All the defense has to say as a witness is they just go up with your book. They're all
56, line 7.
Yeah, I'm looking for the part in your book where you said you blacked out. Yeah. Was that in your book? She's all, no, I left it out. I'm looking for the part where you say he blocked the door and he wouldn't let you out. Is that what page is that on? She's all,
here.
I don't know. I haven't reviewed the book. He's all, oh well, I have. It's not in the book.
Here.
It's just not here.
Yeah.
What about the part where your hands were shaking so bad? Well, wasn't you know, I can't review the book right now. You wrote it, right? You wrote it. Okay. Well, so what about the part where you said something about a power imbalance? She's like, listen, I was traumatized and whatever. I rest my case.
Traumatized.
Not in the book. Not in the book.
Not in the book. Not in the video.
Here's a video of her.
Oh, Stormy.
Like,
you were an actress.
So I really, really thought that they were going to try to put him in jail, and they might.
Yeah.
They might. But the way that the case has been handled now, I actually think it's more they just want to smear him as many times as they possibly can. Just smear him.
It's more about trying to kill his campaign.
Yeah. They just want to smear him and smear him and smear him and smear him. But every single time they come at him, they make him stronger. It's insane. Like, I've never seen a situation like this before where, like, every time they come at him, it blows up in their face. Mm-hmm. All you do is you take this group that already hated him and you make them hate him more. Mm-hmm. And anyone with an independent shred of thought, eventually they get to the point where, like, what the fuck is this? So, like, you have him on trial because he inflated his assets on a loan, which he has paid back in full. Like, what? Who's the victim?
Yeah.
The bank. Oh, the bank wasn't smart enough to know that real estate, like, they couldn't do an appraisal themselves to know how much his assets were worth. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he already paid it all the way back. There is absolutely no victim. The bank made their money. He got the loan. Everybody's, but like, you're prosecuting him for this.
Yeah.
So eventually you get to one of those.
And I'm pretty sure that the entire world did that.
Exactly. And then you have, like, huge Kevin O'Leary comes out and he's like, I'm not necessarily a Trump guy, but this is a complete, like, you can't.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And so eventually everybody gets to the point where they recognize that at least one of these stories is an outright lie.
And then if one's a lie.
And they start looking. And then once you see it, you cannot unsee it because everything they say about him is bullshit. It's literally, like, to the point where
we ended up here.
Yeah, they could land on something that's real, and everyone's like, I don't care if it's real. You guys lied the last 38 times.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's real? I don't give a shit. Like, you lied 38 times in a row. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you, like, suddenly landed on one that's real. Did he murder a kid? No? Okay, then I don't care. You know what I mean?
That's where we draw the line.
Murdering children.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just bizarre, man.
It is.
But if Bill Maher is willing to, throw their case under the bus, I would say that everybody is waking up.
We shall see. How long is this case supposed to run for or whatever?
I don't know. They put Michael Cohen on the case. You know who Michael Cohen is?
No.
Man, just totally checked out. Michael Cohen was Donald Trump's fixer. So he was like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Trump has 1 million lawyers.
Yeah.
And Michael Cohen was like one of a dirty one that would, he dealt with dirt, like he was the one who would go and interact with, like, the media and kill stories and all that, which is complete. I mean, why would you not be able to do that?
Right.
Like, this is how I look at this too. A negative story right? A negative story about an important person is important. Why? As it relates to like commerce. Does every citizen have the right to know every single thing that everyone's ever done? No. So what does it have? It has value. Like it's something that people buy so they can run and they can sell papers.
Yeah.
It's just a thing of value. So if you have someone who goes out and finds them and goes, well, listen, we'll pay you if you think you're going to make this. If you run it, we'll pay you more to not run it. And they're like, all right, it's called catch and kill. There's nothing.
Catch and kill.
There's literally nothing nefarious about that unless what you're talking about is like
another good word.
That is a great word. Unless you're talking about heavy victims.
Sure. Or things that actually impact a wider number of people.
Exactly.
Like if we're talking about, this overstating on a bank loan, that doesn't impact anyone else. If we're talking about, burying a story of
having sex
some
with
kind of a
star.
predator or something that could impact others in one way or another, probably shouldn't be
like
buried.
all the Epstein ones.
Yeah. That.
Like that. Like he caught and killed every story ever.
Yeah.
Caught and killed every case ever. And he's a child trafficker.
Habitual.
I mean, yeah, and like had habitually gotten exposed and they just kept on killing the stories, killing the stories. And with the big guy, you're talking about a story about him sleeping with a porn star at a golf tournament once.
A porn star slept with someone?
Oh my God. Oh,
shocking.
And Donald Trump had sex with a groupie that happened to be a porn star. Oh my God, that's so shocking. I never would have thought.
Because no president has ever done that before.
Yeah, dude.
Bill Clinton.
I know. You really want to get in the weeds on these guys. It's so ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
So stupid.
Gavin Newsom. Hey, you guys want to run Gavin Newsom for president, right? Like, he had sex with his chief of staff's wife over and over and over and over and over. Like, that's the most devious shit of all time.
Hate. Gavin Newsom.
Mm-hmm.
I hate you.
He's a bad person, dude. But anywho, so, yeah. I mean, this whole thing is ridiculous. Yeah. And it's going to... I mean, who knows? We talked about it 2 episodes ago.
What?
That they could have rigged the jury. Like it could,
the
jury could just be rigged.
Yeah, they're like, we don't care about the evidence.
Yeah, we were all Democrats and yada yada yada. Maybe there is a person who, in the trial, though, even though they hated Trump, has an ounce of, I don't know, principles that they don't feel comfortable breaking, and they're like, "Listen, man, I know I don't like him either, but this is a ridiculous case."
Yeah, maybe, but. We shall see.
We shall see. Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm going to sprawl this video a little bit now in terms of like the election that's coming up and, stuff that's going on. These are my 2 thoughts. It's actually kind of a layer of thoughts about this, though.
Here we go.
Is if like in 2020, there was the absolute elites full court press going on. You had the virus. You had the Black Lives Matter chaos in the streets. You had, like lockdowns, and then you had all kinds of other stuff. It was like they went absolutely all out to create the environment that like the country's completely out of control. Now, I know that a lot of that had to do with the fact that Trump was president. And so they're like, look at how out of control the country is, and he's not president now. But looking at the lay of the land, it's like, these cases are blowing up in your face. I don't really know what else. I mean, maybe there's nothing else they can do, but it seems as though they're either failing to do anything or they're letting this kind of, I don't know, like happen. It's like, why are they not doing more if they really don't want him to be president? Because he's going to win. And that's concerning for 2 reasons to me. It means 3 reasons, actually. One is either they know they've got the election rigged. They can't lose. Yeah. Right? That's 1. 2 is they're going to knock him off. Like 2 is, because that's what Andrew Tate's always said. He's like, first, they'll smear you. If that doesn't work, they'll put you in jail. If that doesn't work, they'll kill you. Yeah. He always says that.
Yeah.
So maybe that. Or and this is kind of the most scary one as far as I'm concerned. Everybody knows the bubble's going to pop on the economy at some point in a way that's going to be biblical, right? Like every economist has always said that. They're like, there is a moment where the economy is going to complete. Maybe they let Trump get into office and
then have it
they
pop
blow it
while
up
he's
so they
in.
can point at him and they go,
And then we have Great Reset.
yes.
Yeah. Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know. It's all scary.
I don't even know, I don't know what happens at that point. I mean, I feel like we have pretty good, like we're positioned pretty well, with things that people can't really take from us, but I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
We'll see, dude.
Hopefully we don't see that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's enough for today.
See you next time.
Love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Bye.